Boker or Masechet Kiddushin Daf 39A1. We were just finishing yesterday by speaking about the entire concept of the machloket. That we said that according to the name of Shemuel, that Orla is also going to be Asur and Chutzaretz, and it's only going to be the Rabbanan. Why didn't we learn Zev Zeh Yorev Lokeach or Zev Zeh Yorev Loket? So answered Shemuel, Amaleh Shemuel Rabbanan, you're right. It's or Zev Zeh Yorev Lokeach or Zev Zeh Yorev Loket, which means that it's going to be the same halacha of Orla and Kilayim together. The Morber de Ravina Machnel Lekula. So Morber de Ravina, he went and he taught it Lekula. Zev Zeh Yorev Loket Ubilvad, which means that you're going to go down and take the fruits. Ubilvad Shalu Yilkot Bayad, as long as you're not doing it right with your hands. Samale Levi Shmuel, said Levi to Shmuel. Aryoch was a kinui for Shemuel because Aryoch Melech Elasar. It means basically because since Halacha was like him and Mamonot, like so he was like a king. And we always listened to him. So he called him like Aryoch, which is actually lashon of an ari, a lion. We call him Aryoch. It actually has it in the same shoresh, right? Sapek li v'anechu. Make the safek orla bishvili, and I'll eat it. Which means take some fruits from me in chutzaretz, not in front of me. Don't tell me that they're perot orla or not. And then it's going to become a safek olah, and then I'll be able to eat it. Of Avia, right? That means basically he was trying to say that as long as I don't know that it's safek olah, and this is how you're doing it, so therefore I don't have a problem because you just say that it's going to be okay. Of Avia v'Rabbi Baruchanan mesafku safku safuki le'adadi. So they used to make the safek of olah to each other, which means they used to give them without even telling them that this is olah, and therefore they were able to eat it because safek olah is going to be mutar in chutzaretz, according to what we just said now. So Amri Charife de Pumbedita, they said the sharp ones of Pumbedita, en orla bechutzaretz. There's no orla in chutzaretz. Okay? En orla bechutzaretz. So Shalche, Rabbi, Rav Yehuda lekemed Rabbi Yochanan. So sent Rabbi Yehuda in front of Rabbi Yochanan. We are 2, 4, 6, 8, like 10 lines down where it says Shalcha Rabbi Yehuda lekemed Rabbi Yochanan.
What's the first word on the line?
Let me see again. De Rabbi Yochanan. Right? So Shalcha Rabbi Yehuda lekemed Rabbi Yochanan. Shalach lei. So he went and he said, Sitom Sfeika. Put that there's bemet that the safek olah is going to be mutar and chutzaretz. Ve'abed vada'ah. Right? And get rid of the perot, which are for sure olah. Ve'achrez al perotehen, and you're going to say that on the fruits of the perot of olah, shetunim geniza, the nin geniza. Echol ha'omer, and anybody that's going to say in olah b'chutzaretz, so yeh lo nin v'neched, right? He will not have any type of a grandchild, mashlich hevel b'gorah b'kal Hashem, which means Rabbi Yehuda comes and he pushes off the entire concept that or Isur olah is not going to be noeg in chutzaretz. And he says, no, you have to, somebody that's going to be mizalzel, look, mamash. En lo nin v'neched. Look at the terminology that he used. Okay, fine. V'inu. So the Charife de Pumbedita command Savro, who do they hold? That there's no Isur Chutzaretz of Orla. Okay, the Tanya that we should learn to the Braita, Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Yosei, Omer, Mishum Rabbi Yosei ben Durmaska. Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Yosei says the name of Rabbi Yosei ben Durmaska, that it said the name of Rabbi Yosei Gilad, that it said the name of Rabbi Yochanan Menuri, that it said the name of Rabbi Eliezer Agadol. And Orla bechutzaretz. There's no Orla in chutzaretz. So velo, and it's in what? There's no Orla in chutzaretz. But Vanam Tanan Rabbi Eliezer Omer Afa Chadash. He says what? Even Chadash. Meaning for sure there's going to be Orla, right? And even Chadash. So he says no. Tani Chadash. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Chadash, not velo Afa Chadash. That means according to this, Tanakama was saying the Orla and Kilayim are going to be even in chutzaretz, and Chadash is not noheg. Rabbi Eliezer argues on Tanakama and says Orla and Kilayim are noheg only in Eretz Yisrael. But Chadash is only going to be noheg, also in chutzaretz. Meaning we're flipping it. Amar Rav Yasi Amar Rav Yochanan. It says Rav Yasi and then Rav Yochanan. Orla bechutzaretz is halakha Moshe miSinai. Elmaleh Rabbi Zera Rav Yasi. He says Rabbi Zera to Rav Yasi. V'atram we learned in the Mishnah safek olah ba'aretz asur v'Surya mutar. Safek olah in Eretz Yisrael is going to be asur, but in Syria it's going to be mutar. So he says, Ishtomem kesha achada. He went and he kept quiet for a moment. Elmaleh, and he went and he said, right? I'm going to tell you that this is the way that it is. Sfeika is going to be mutar, right? Vada asur. The safek is going to be mutar, but for sure is going to be asur. Okay? Fine. Here. זה בעוד דף הבא. לא, זה שמה, אבל דף הבא זה יהיה שמה. אוקיי? עכשיו אנחנו למצאת את המודל. אמר רבי יאסי, אמר רבי יוחנן. says רבי יאסי in the name of רבי יוחנן. Right? Lokin ala kilaim. He says we are going to be lokin on the kilaim. Okay? So he comes and he says like this. He says, lokin ala kilaim dvar Torah, which means we're going to get malkut on kilaim in chutz haaretz mina Torah. So Elmaleh Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yosef says Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yosef. V'adan we learned kilaim is which means that it's not going to be mina Torah. It's going to be only midrabanan. So he says la kasha. It's not a question. Kan b'kilei hakerem v'kan harkavat ilan. One of them is talking about kilei hakerem, and one of them is talking about harkavat ilan, which is going to be a sur in chutz haaretz mina Torah, which means kilei hakerem is it's only going to be drabanan. Kilei hakerem is when you have a vineyard and you mix it with other types of fruits and vegetables. So that's called kilei hakerem. Harkavat ilan is when you're going to graft from the trees. So Kiddush Shmuel, just like Shmuel says, Shmuel says, "Hukotaiti shmoru, chukim shekakakti lecha kvar, chukim that I already went and I put, be'emtecha lo tibia kilaim, sedecha lo tibia kilaim, ma be'emtecha be'arba'a, just like be'emtecha, right? He says, right, be'emtecha is lo tibia kilaim, sedecha lo tizra, ma be'emtecha be'arba'a, just like be'emtecha is going to be a sur when you have two different meanings. Of sadecha be'arkava, so to sadecha is going to be be'arkava. Be'emtecha noheg ben ba'aretz ben chutz haaretz, whether it's going to be in Eretz Yisrael or chutz haaretz. Of sadecha, so to the field noheg ben ba'aretz ben chutz haaretz, whether it's going to be in Eretz Yisrael or in chutz haaretz. Ve'ela hakativ, but that which we learned, right? Sadecha. So he says hahu lemiut zra'im shebechutz haaretz. There we're talking about that it's coming to exclude zra'im, which are going to be in chutz haaretz. Rav Chanan ve'Rav Anan avushak v'vaz dibolcha. So Rav Chanan and Rav Anan were going on the path. He saw that somebody was planting different seeds together. Elmaleh, he says, let's come and put him in the cherem. What's this guy doing? He's planting kilaim. He's planting different things together. What's going on? So he says, Elmaleh, he says, lo chavritu. He says, alachot of kilaim don't appear to me, which means that they weren't prohibited, right, in chutz haaretz, and therefore there's no isu. Then they saw another guy. That he went and he was planting chitim and seorim between the gifanim, right? The wheat and barley between the gifanim, the grapes. Elmaleh, he says, come, let's put them in nidui. Elmaleh, he says, lo tzaritu. He says, ilchot kilaim are not bruring for me, and therefore, even though the yisur kilaim for sure is going to be no head, but still, lo kaimel Rabbi Yoshe damar ad sheizrach chita usora v'chartzan k'mepon letyad. That it has to be that the person is having in the same hand and he's planting everything in the same time. Meaning he's planting a seed of wheat, of barley, right, and of grapes all in one shot. Meaning it has to be much like in one shot that he's doing it. And that's to be kilaim.
Meaning at the same spot.
Yeah. So he says, but to come and to do chita v'seora or beside it, maybe it's going to be mutar. So basically, since he was saying that I'm not sure in all the halachot, I can't put him in cherem. Rav Yosef me'arev bizrane v'zara. So Rav Yosef used to put two different zraim together and he used to plant it. Abaye says, 1 second. We learned that kilaim is going to be assumed divrei sofrim. Elmaleh, he says, like I asked a question, kan v'kilei hakerem v'kan v'kilei zraim. No. Kilei hakerem is a sun rabbanan. But kilei zraim were never prohibited. Meaning to put two different things together in chutz haaretz. Let's say wheat and barley, it's mutar. It's only kilei hakerem that's a sun divrei sofrim rabbanan. Yes. Kilei hakerem, kerem is anavim. Okay? So he says, Kilei hakerem de ba'aretz asurim bana bechutz haaretz, meaning why? In Eretz Yisrael, Kilei hakerem is asur bana. So since in Israel, so it's going to be asur bana kilei hakerem. In chutz haaretz they made a decree. But kilei zraim, that in Eretz Yisrael it's not asur bana, so the chutz haaretz they didn't even make the decree at all. Meaning it goes down one level each time. In Eretz Yisrael, Kilei hakerem ze achi chamur, asur bana. So in chutz haaretz midrabanan. But in Eretz Yisrael, kilei zraim is, let's say, chita v'soran, lo anavim, right? That means wheat and barley, not grapes. So since that's going to be mutar bana, so therefore they didn't make such a prohibition afterwards. Okay, fine. Hadar Amar Rav Yosef. Then Rav Yosef retracted and says, Lam minta yidam. It's not true. The Rav Zaraginta de Rav misharesh mishare, because Rav planted a ginat yerek of the Bnei Yeshiva, different furrows, and every single one he did it by himself. My time, what's the reason? Lam mishum because he didn't want to be me'adev kilayim, meaning that you see from here that Rav he did one furrow, one row of let's say chita, one row of seorah, one row, meaning it was separate. Why did he do it separate? Because you're not supposed to plant it together. So Elmaleh Abai says, Bishlama Yashmin, and I understand if he would have taught us Lameteta Mubet. Arba Ruchot Aruga Vechad Be'emsa. Then if Rav would have come and he would have done 4 different types of vegetables on 4 different parts of the Aruga, and one of them in the middle. So therefore I would have said that Shapin. Elahacha, but in our case where he came and he did every single Aruga separately is Mishum Noi. It's because he wanted it to be nice, not because of halacha. Vinami, or because Mishum Tircha to Shamahi, because it's a Torah to come and to start, going with all the different things, he didn't want a Tircha, meaning that's just much more practical. It's a practicality. It's not because of its Isuru Mutar. So therefore, because of that, he didn't want to come and start doing different things, but it's not a proof that it's going to be Asur. Okay. Mishnah, Lameteta Mubet. Kol ha'oseh mitzvah achat, metivin lo umanichin lo yamav v'nochel et haaretz. Anybody that's going to come and is going to do a mitzvah, they're going to do good to him from the Shamayim, they're going to give him longer life, and he's going to be nochel et haaretz. V'chol sheno meseh mitzvah achat, but if he doesn't, so they're not going to do good to him, they're not going to get longer life, and he's not going to have nochel et haaretz. Says the Gemara. Right? Well, let's see. Says the Gemara. Yeah, here nochel et haaretz means olam haba. That's what Rashi says. Okay? But it says the Gemara, we have a contradiction. The Mishnah says in Peah, that we read in the mornings, Elu devarim sh'adam ochel perot ha'mam v'zeh v'kerek Eluhen, these are the ones which a person is going to eat, right? The fruits in this world, and the principle is still going to be kayem el olam haba. Eluhen, kibud avaim, kibilu chasadim, achdasat orchim, avat shalom ben adam mechuvut amudura keneged kulam. So you see from here that we're talking about again the kibud avaim, right? Respecting your parents, kibilu chasadim, chesed, achdasat orchim, bringing in the guests, which is technically also chesed, avat shalom ben adam mechuvut, making peace between a person and his friend, and tamudura keneged kulam. So the question is, from the Mishnah, you say that there's 5 mitzvot which a person is going to get schar b'olam hazeh v'olam haba. So it's mashma that he's not going to get it through other mitzvot. Our Mishnah is mashma, right, that kol mitzvah that you do, you're going to get this. And it's not true. Meaning, if our Mishnah here in Peah is saying that there are certain mitzvot that you get this, mashma, it's not every mitzvah. So why did our Mishnah say any mitzvah that you do, you get all these things? It's not true. So Amar Rav Yehuda comes and he answers, Hachi Kamar, this is what it means to say. Anybody that's going to do a mitzvah more, and now he's going to have more mitzvot than averot, they're going to do good to him, and it's like he was mekayem the entire kol haTorah kula. This is very apropos for a Aseret Metshuva, right? If you guys come to Shurim before Mincha, right, you're going to understand that during the time of Aseret Metshuva, it's very, very important, right, to always add mitzvot, because the more mitzvot that we do, the better that it is. That's the concept of a Aseret Metshuva. So here, this is what the Gemara is actually saying. Remember that this is actually tomorrow's daf, right? Which means that anybody that's going to do one mitzvah, right, that's going to tilt the scale, that now he's going to have one mitzvah more, meaning more zechuyot than averot, metivin lo, right? They're going to do good to him. And it's keilu that he came and he did the entire Torah. Right, and that's why the Mishnah says metivim lo, u'manichim lo yamav v'nochel et haaretz v'chol hadvarim ha'eleh. Why? Right, there's no stira. Our Mishnah is talking about something that's going to be mekayem kol mitzvah she'i, even if it's going to be one mitzvah, in order to tilt the scale in favor that he's going to have more mitzvot than averot. But the Mishnah in Peah was mamash like the regular Mishnah that was talking about. Mikra dahana. Right, so it comes out that these 5, afilu b'chada nami, even one of them is already enough. You don't need all 5. Meaning we brought down 5. Those are 5. So Masha, even one of them is going to be enough. So Amar Rav Shemaya says Rav Shemaya, Shimaita shekula machrat. He comes and he says, if it's going to be shekula, it's going to be machriya. That means one of them is already going to be, that's what it means. It's talking about your mikayim mitzvot rabot, right? That with some of them you're going to have, right? Half or whatever it is. And the miyuchad shav mitzvot, which are brought down in the Mishnah Peah, each one of them is doing it that it's going to be machriya lechav zechut. Okay. וכל העושה מצווה אחת. וכל העושה מצווה אחת יתרה על זכויותיו. So now it says the Gemara, if we're talking about now that you're doing one mitzvah more than זכויותיו, מטיבין לו. Are you going to tell me then, ודאי you're going to be מטיבין לו? Why מטיבין לו? Right? ולמינו, we have a contradiction. כל שזכויותיו מרובים במנותיו מרואים לו. Anybody that has more זכויות than his zavunot, מריעים לו. They're going to do bad to him. You know why they're going to do bad to him? To cleanse him. It's a cleaning process. You understand? ודומה כמי ששרף כל התורה כולו, ושממנו אפילו על אחת. Except that he burned the entire Torah and he didn't even live over one sin. But if he's going to have a lot of averot, so then they're going to do good to him. Why? Because that way he doesn't get olam haba. So basically, this is going to be the stira. What's going on? Do we cleanse him or not? Right? You understood the sheila? Yeah? Yes or no? Yeah? So the Gemara answers, Amar Abaye says, Matnitin te'avdin le yom tav v'yom bish. Our Mishnah is that they're going to do to him one day good and one day bad. Meaning, at the beginning, when he does one extra mitzvah, he's going to be zocher olam haba. And therefore, they're going to give him the yom tov, which is basically going to be olam haba mushlam. How are they going to do that? By paying him back for all his averot in this world. So metivin lo in our Mishnah and miri'in lo in the Braita is the same thing. Befoal miri'in lo, in order to be metivin lo. You understand? Meaning, they're going to do bad to him, and that's a Braita. They're going to do bad to him in this world. Why? In order to be metiv lo in olam haba. Okay? Huh? Rava says, Hamani, so who's this Braita then? Rabbi Yaakov. It's Rabbi Yaakov. The Amar that he says, Schar mitzvot Elmaleh. There's no schar mitzvot in this world. And therefore, what happens is, right, the Braita that was brought down that says, Emet v'im klal ba'olam hazeh, that's Rabbi Yaakov, right? But our Mishnah that says metivin lo is the author that argues on Rabbi Yaakov. The Tanya says in the Braita, Rabbi Yaakov Omer, En lecha kol mitzvah שכתובה בתורה שמתן שכרה בצידה, שאין תחיית המתים תלויים בה. Which means without matan schar. So it comes to teach you that there's no matan schar only in olam haba.
It's against Be'ah.
Huh?
Yeah, it says
the Braita now is going to bring two different mitzvot, right, as a proof that we spoke about. And it says like this: B'kibud avahem, right? K'tiv etzutem b'kibud avahem lemani yanichun yamecha lemani yitavlach. And shiluach haken, it's also written mani yitavlach v'arachta yamim. So basically, you have yitavlach in both, and you have arichut yamim in both. So how do we actually explain this exactly? So he comes and he says like this. He says, Imagine right now a person says to his father, Ale labira, go to this big house, vaveli gozalot. Yeah, bring me gozalot. Ve'ala labira v'shlach et ha'em v'natal et habanim. So he went and he did this, right? So imagine, so the father comes, right, and tells him, go up to this big house, bring me the gozalot. He goes up, he takes it. And all of a sudden he comes back. Now he just went and he did the mitzvah of kibud avayim and shiluach haken in the same moment. Yeah, in the exact same moment he did the mitzvah both. And then what happens? On the way back he comes, he falls and he dies. So hechan tovat yamav shel zeh. How do you have tovat yamav yamim? Hechan arichut yamav shel zeh. Where's arichut yamim? Which means what's going on over here? This guy just did two different mitzvot, that both mitzvot say that achta yamim, you're going to have long life. And on the way back, he dropped dead. What's going on? So he says, Hechan tov yamim v'hechan arichut yamav. Ela lemani tavlach, le'olam shekulo tov. Lemani arichun yamecha, le'olam shekulo arov. Everything's olam haba. Nothing to do with olam hazeh. It's only olam haba. Yeah?
How do you מערכת הימים בעולם הבא?
He comes and he says, we're talking about now, למען יניחון ימיך לעולם שכולו ארוך, ודילמה לאו האחיות. He says, אולי באמת, right, it won't happen like this, like Rabbi Yaakov is saying, but really באמת, somebody that's מקיים the mitzvot, they're going to have long life in this world. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yaakov מעשה חזה. Yeah, but he saw an action. He saw what happened. So says the Gemara, okay, fine, ודילמה מהרהר בעבירה. Maybe he was thinking of an avirah. Meaning, since he was thinking of an avirah, So that's why that's exactly what happened. That he basically, but if he wasn't thinking of an Avirah, he would have received a reward here. So says the Gemara, no, that can be. Even if he was thinking of an Avirah, Kadosh Baruch Hu is not mitzaref l'maaseh. So says the Gemara, okay, fine. Maybe he was thinking of Avodah Zarah, right? On Avodah Zarah, you do get punished for your thoughts. So answers the Gemara, nami hachi kamar. This is what it means to say. If you're going to tell me if you're going to tell me that they're going to pay schar mitzvot, why wasn't the mitzvot actually protecting him? In order that it should not come and start thinking about Hirur Avirah. So the Gemara says, but 1 second. Right? Also, we have another general rule. Shluchei mitzvah, they don't get damaged. Right now, the father sent them to do mitzvah. So first of all, he had the mitzvah of kibud avayim, and he sent him to do the mitzvah of shiluach haken. So how did he get damaged? So answers the Gemara, hatam balichatan shane. There, Rabbi Elazar is talking about when they're going to do it, and therefore it's different, right? That it was already when he was coming back. Bachazor. By the way, that's why they say that by Yaakov Avinu, he told Yosef HaTzadik, he went and he told him, go see Shalom Achecha Vatzon, V'hashiveni davar. Ki'ilu, he tried to make it that there should be Shluchei Mitzvah on the way there and also on the way back. Because if not, then the Shluchei Mitzvah and Nizokim is only on Derech Haleichatan, not Derech Hazaratan. Because Derech Hazaratan, you already did a Mitzvah. So therefore, according to that, that's why he was telling him, go there and then come back. Ki'ilu, he was giving him the extra, the extra thing. Ask the Gemara, how do you say that? V'amar Rabbi Elazar, says Rabbi Elazar, Shluchei mitzvah enam nizokim lo balichatam lo b'chaziratam. So what are you talking about? Shluchei mitzvah are not going to be damaged, not on the way there, not on the way back. So answers the Gemara, Sulam re'uahava. No, he says he went on a bad ladder. And therefore, the kavaya is the kviya is that there's already kavua hezek. Which means you're not going to be somech on the nes. Says Shemuel Levi, how am I going to come and I'm going to anoint David Melech? If Shaul is going to hear me, he's going to kill me. But 1 second, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to do it. What are you worried about? He said, no. But at the end of the day, Shchiach Hazeka. You know what Shchiach Hazeka means? That it's common that there's going to be damage. I cannot come and say, you know what? Go over there, right? And you're going into the lion's den. What are you doing? Right? So obviously, in such a case, you could get damaged. And therefore, it's going to be a problem. Samar of Yosef says of Yosef, Elmaleh acher lahaikra. If it wasn't for the acher that he was doresh the skrav lemani tavlach, Yaakov bar beratel lo chata. If he would have learned that it was going on in Olam Haba, he wouldn't have sinned. Acher wouldn't have sinned. So what exactly? What brought him? Some people say he saw that exactly. Rabbi Yaakov saw a son doing the mitzvah of kibud avayim and shluach haken, and he died. And he went and he said, 1 second, so there's no schar. So he went and he sinned. This came out because he understood that it's in this world. But if he would have been mifaresh, like Yaakov, that really meant it's in the next world. So then Acher wouldn't have sinned. And other people say, Lishna de chutzpita meturgeman chaza. He saw the lashon of chutzpita meturgeman. That there was a chazir that was dragging it on the ground. So Elisha ben Abiyah says, Amar, Heshefik margaliot, right? This mouth that was taking out all these margaliot of Torah and Chusma, Yelechech Afar, is going to be being dragged on the dust, on the ground, right? And therefore, Nafak v'chata, he went and just think about it, right? The Chutzpita Meturgeman, right? He was one of the Asara Rugei Malchut, right? And when he was actually killed, his tongue was being dragged by a pig. So he went and he said, I don't understand. This tongue was the tongue which was, he was a Meturgeman. He was the one that was, saying over all the Divrei Torah from the rabbi. And now it's going to be coming in he went off the path. He went off the derech because he said, it doesn't make sense. What's going on? That's what he said. Fine. So says the Gemara, Rami Rav Tuvi Bar Rav Kistan the Rabba, Tanam, we learned in the Mishnah, Kol ha'oseh mitzvah achat metivin lo. Anybody that's going to do a mitzvah, they're going to do good for him. Asa, right in, lo asa lo. So it's mashma only that if he did a mitzvah, then good. That if he didn't do a mitzvah, they're not going to do good for him. Well, meaning we have a contradiction. I thought that it's written that if a person just came and they didn't do an avirah, the fact that they could have done an avirah and they didn't do it, they give them the reward as if they did a mitzvah. So you see, for me, what are you talking about that he has to actually do a mitzvah? Even without doing a mitzvah, the fact that you didn't do an avirah, it's already enough. So says the Gemara, Elmaleh, he says, Hatam, there we're talking about Kigon Shabbat Devarav Liyado. He told him, no. It says there what happened was that there was an avirah that came to his hand and he was saved from it. He didn't do it. Meaning not just stam that he's just not doing nothing. There was an avirah that came to him. He could have done the avirah and he didn't do it. That's when he's going to be saved. Ki had Rav Chanina bar Papi, just like Rav Chanina bar Papi, the Tabe Hayim Trinita, that there was this matronita that came and they wanted to take him for znut. Amar Milta, right? He said something of Kishuf, Umalen Avshe Shichna Vikiba. And all of a sudden he became full of shchin, of boils and all these things, right? And what happened? She left him. Avda hi minta, right? Vitase. So she did kishuf, and then what happened? And then it went away from him. Arak. So he ran away. Tasha be'alhu be'bane. And in order not to find him, he went into a bet menchatz, that even if people would go out to him, right? Even during the day, havu mitaske. They would be damaged. Meaning he went to a bathhouse where there was a lot of demons there, right? So the next day the rabbis told him, Manatrach, who saved you from the demons? Who saved you? Meaning, well, what did you do? But it's incredible. You saw what he did. She wanted to do an avirah with him. What did he do? He went and he did a witchcraft. All of a sudden he's full of boils. So now who's going to want to be with him? What did she do? She did a witchcraft and she took it away. So now he's in trouble. So he ran away and he went into a bathhouse that basically you go in and it doesn't matter if you're two people, even during the day, and you still get damaged. But he ran in. So they asked him, who watched you? So he says, Amalu, he went and he said, Shne Nose Kesar, there were two giburim shemaruni kol halayla. They were there the entire nighttime. Now he says there were two like giburim of the Kesar. Really, they were two tzaddikim, the two malachim, says the Ben Yehuda, the Ben Ishchai. But really, they were two malachim, but he didn't want to actually say it, right, the entire night. Amrule, they said, Shema dvar avera bali yadcha. Maybe there was an avera came to you, and nitzata menu. Titanina kol ba dvar avera, nitzavir sinu nes. They do it, meaning, right, any dvar avera that comes to your hands, and you're going to be saved, they do for you a miracle. Yeah, they make it. So therefore, they said that if right now you went to the Bet Milchatz, that for sure it was a miracle, you see that obviously there was a avirah that came to your hands. And by the way, this is based upon, I think this is where the Gemara is basing, that Rabbi Salanter once said, that what happens if a person comes and they have something of an avirah coming right in front of them in the street? Yeah? So imagine, a person's walking the street, all of a sudden there's a woman coming by and she's not dressed properly. And he turns his head, he could pray for whatever he wants. And that's praying for whatever he wants, right? That praying for whatever he wants, right, is coming from here. Because anybody that has a Dvar Avera Liyado, when he's saved from it, they're going to do a miracle for him. So now, right now is that Shat Ratzon, you could ask whatever you want.
Says also that
yeah?
who says that you're reaching the